what I've been doing since you've been gone. Peeler on it as well, but it's a little bit to show you some secrets of the cookies. Sometimes they do crumble. And you can stick a fork in it, literally. Thing that people think is very hard. You'll find out. Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and welcome to URBANesque Living. Have you ever been on a diet and you crave something sweet like sweet potato pie, but you know those calories are way too much for your diet? Well, I'm going to show you how to have that sweet potato pie flavor without all of those sweet potato pie calories. Stay tuned.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Recycling in Detroit starts with you.
Do you recycle?
Did you know Detroit recycles? We started curbside collection in different neighborhoods.
It's getting bigger and moving to other neighborhoods.
And anyone can recycle here
and here.
What we do with our trash, the reflection of our city. A city that's full of life
and optimism.
And we need to take pride in our city.
It's one small change
that starts a chain reaction.
Detroit recycles.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and welcome to my kitchen. Have you ever been on a diet and crave something sweet like sweet potato pie, but you know that sweet potato pie is way off your calorie chart? Well, I'm going to show you an easy way to make sweet potato pie for breakfast, and it acts as a meal supplement. And all you're going to need are some cooked sweet potatoes, a little vanilla extract, some sweet potato spices, and I've mixed in some cinnamon, some ginger, and a little nutmeg, coconut water, and some oatmeal. And we're going to make a sweet potato smoothie. And you're going to need a mixer, and we have our mixer here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add my coconut milk. And I'm making enough for 2 people, so this is 2 servings, and that's 1 whole cup of coconut milk. And then I'm going to add the sweet potato. And I'm going to toast this on our mixer. Okay, so as you see, we have a sweet potato puree. And so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to add a little bit of our vanilla, and all you need is a little bit of vanilla, and I'm going to add our spices. And last but not least, I'm going to add our oatmeal. And you're wondering, like, how can you eat oatmeal as a smoothie? Well, it actually makes a terrific smoothie. I'm not one that eats a lot of dairy, and so I use the oatmeal as a substitute. It makes your smoothies very smooth and creamy. Okay. And last but not least, I'm going to add some ice. And that's going to give us a very smooth and creamy consistency to our smoothie. And that way you have that nice chilled beverage after your workout. Okay, I'm going to push that down a little bit, and I'm going to toast this once more. All right, and as you can see, our smoothie is very smooth, and it has a lot of sweet potato flavor. If you like, you can actually add some honey to this, or whatever sweetener you like. But if you're watching your calories, all you need is the natural sweetness from the sweet potato. That's quite sufficient. But as you can see, our smoothie is nice and creamy and smooth, and you can't see that oatmeal in there. But what it does is add a great deal of smoothness, and it adds a filler. And so as you go throughout your day, you're going to find that You're not as hungry as if you had a smoothie without the oatmeal in it. And this, I promise, will last from breakfast all the way until lunchtime. And that was my tip for the day. Add oatmeal to your smoothie. Thank you.
I'd like to drop out of high school and get a meaningless job that makes me feel bad about myself.
I'd like to fall victim to the old boys network.
I don't want anybody to notice me. I just want to fly under the radar.
I want to splatter against the glass ceiling. I don't have an opinion.
I want to be a straight C student. I'm going to be a biomedical engineer. I want to succumb to peer pressure all of my life. I'm going to be a best-selling author and win a National Book Award.
I'm going to be a marine biologist.
Wait, I take my back. I'm going to be a biomedical engineer.
I think I'll be the president.
I'm going to be Secretary of State.
World-class chef, right here.
Race car driver. Artist.
Paleontologist. Film director.
Surgeon. Teacher. Scientist. Olympian.
I'm going to be the boss.
I'm going to change the world.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and this is another edition of URBANesque Living. Today, I'm going to show you something to do to add a little bit more digestion to your system and to give your body more enzymes to break down your food. If you've ever made a smoothie and used a papaya, you open it up and you see all these little black seeds inside. Now, most of us will just scoop them out and toss them away, but they actually have a lot of digestive properties. These are the seeds from a papaya that I use to make some smoothies, and I use to put in some dried granola. And so I save the seeds and I put them on a silk mat and put them in the dehydrator to dry. So what I'm going to do is show you what to do with those seeds after they have dried. And all you're going to need is a coffee grinder. And first of all, what we're going to do is unstick these seeds from the mat because they are sticky. And I did not use a non-stick spray because the mat itself is a non-stick surface, and I didn't want to add any type of preservative or any type of an oil to the seeds because I want it more of a powdered form, and I don't want to have them sticky or oily. And you can add these seeds to anything you like. You can actually use them almost like a pepper because they do have a little bit of a spice to them. But as you can see, there's still a little bit of dried papaya that's stuck onto the seeds, which is not a big deal. And we're putting it into our grinder. Lost a couple on the way, but that's not a big deal. Let's put our coffee grinder on securely, making sure our little arrows match. Otherwise, you're going to get little bits of powder everywhere. And we're just going to grind them. Make sure it's a fine powder, because you can actually, like I said, you can actually sprinkle this on top of your salads. Okay, and this is what you come out with. I like to make sure that my digestion is working correctly, and these add a little bit of a spice to what you're doing, and they help your digestion, and that's a good thing to know. Thank you for joining me. I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and this has been URBANesque Living. Welcome back to URBANesque Living. Today, we're going to start something that's going to make a delicious dessert. And what we're going to do is take dried fruit And we're going to take some rum, and we're going to make some rum raisins and rum cherries, because later on we're going to be making some bread, and I want to add this special added punch to my bread for my adult guests. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to get a clean container, and so I've already cleaned it out, wiped it out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our raisins, and this is very simple. Okay, we're just going to take the raisins, put them in the container. About a cup is what we're going to need for our recipe. Later on, we're going to be making some brown bread with some pecans, and we're going to put fruit in the bread so that it adds a little bit of extra flavor to it. So we've got our cranberries, and any old dried cranberries will do, and any old dried raisins will do. And so we want them to sit in the rum for about 24 hours. So we have our little container, then we have our rum. Now this is white rum, and I just selected this at the store because it was for a good price, but you can also use the dark rum, which probably is very good. It has a little bit of extra flavor, it has some spices to it, and you're just going to cover the dried fruit with the rum, pour it over it. Just enough to cover, you don't have to try and get the raisins drunk. Swirl it around a little bit to get rid of those air bubbles. And then we're going to cover it in a airtight container, and we're going to just sit this into the refrigerator, and we're going to let it sit for at least 24 hours. And by that time, the raisins and the cranberries are going to soak up some of that delicious rum flavor for our dessert that we're going to be making later on. So this is a very urbanist thing to do, and it's going to make your food taste special.
Every year in the U.S., more than 350,000 hearts suddenly and unexpectedly stop. But they didn't have to. Early intervention could have saved their lives. I'm Shawn Robinson. Given my family's history with heart disease, I'm here to shed light on sudden cardiac arrest, a condition we need to stop. SCA is deadly and can happen to anyone, but chances are greater in African Americans. Most high-risk patients do not receive recommended treatments. Over 60% of African Americans think they don't need to go to the doctor after experiencing heart disease symptoms. It's time to arrest your risk. Talk to your doctor. Stop SCA before it stops you.
Tish Tansil, and thank you for joining me for another edition of URBANesque Living. Today, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite things. You can rub it on your skin, you can eat it, you can spray it in the air. What am I talking about? None other than vanilla. Not the liquid vanilla you find in the baking aisle. This is the vanilla bean. If you've ever seen a vanilla bean and wondered how to use it, but you put it back on the shelf because it was easier just buying the liquid, well, this makes the difference in your cooking, and it's worth the effort. Stay tuned and I'll show you how to use a vanilla bean.
Mom, can we get some ice cream? Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Hi, welcome back to URBANesque Living. Now today, I'm going to show you how to cut open a vanilla bean so that you can use it in your cooking. Now, a vanilla bean looks like basically a dried up rope is what it looks like. But it actually is the seed pod from an orchid plant, a very beautiful plant. And the flavor of this is beautiful as well. The first thing you're going to need is a cutting board to make sure that you can cut your vanilla bean and not cut yourself. Secondly, you're going to need a very sharp paring knife. You really don't need a chef's knife. That's a little bit too large for something like this. So, it's a very simple process. You're going to take the beans, you're just going to take your knife, and you're going to slit it open. Okay, so we cut it open, and you don't have to be perfect when you cut it open because we aren't going to be using this for anything else but flavoring. And so you're just going to widen the seam where you have cut it. You're going to take the tip of your knife, and you're just merely going to scrape the inside of the seed pod. And we're scraping the seeds off of the seed pod. And that's your vanilla. Once you've completed doing this, depending on what you're using, you can actually save the skin. Because if you're making a sauce or you're making some type of a liquid, what you can do is put this seed pod into that item, and as it cooks, more flavor will be released. You will not be eating this, so you must make sure that you remove it when you are finished cooking with it. And that you can just toss in the garbage can. It's really not good for anything else. You don't want to use it in any cosmetic items or around your house because it's going to be kind of soggy. This is Chef Tish Tansil, and that's my culinary tip for the day: cutting open a vanilla seed pod.
Yes, ready, ready.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Hi, I'm Chef Tish Tansil, and welcome back to URBANesque Living. Today, like I said, we're going to be making some chips, but these are not your regular chips that are fried in oil. These are going to be chips that we make in the dehydrator. And my oven has a dehydrating feature, which I absolutely love because I've been dehydrating all kinds of fruits. I found these racks, which are plastic dehydrating racks, and you can get these at your store or you can buy these online. And if you don't want to use these, you can use a plain wire rack in your oven, or you can do it on a silicone mat. But they come out a little bit crisper when you use this because these have air shelves on them, and it allows the air in your dehydrator to circulate, and it makes the top and the bottom crisp and dehydrated at the same time so that you don't have to flip them, which takes a lot of time. So the first thing we're going to do is to choose our fruit. And today I have selected some wonderful mango and some kiwi. So we're going to have mango and kiwi chips. The first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to slice the fruit for the dehydration, because the slicing is important because you have to be consistent with the size of your fruit, otherwise they will all dry at a different rate. A mango slicer is wonderful because it's a 1, 2, 3, you're done step. And mangoes can be a little bit on the slippery side, but a knife works just as well. When you're using a mango slicer, what you're going to do is make sure that the mango is pointing upward, and that means that the seed is right here in the center. So you're just going to sit the mango down in front of you. you're going to place the slicer right on top, and you're just going to press down. There you go. The mango is sliced perfectly. And you have the seed that's in between. So we have two perfect mango halves. And so from this point, what we need to do is peel the skin off of the mango. Okay, so our mango is almost peeled. And what I'm going to do is just take our paring knife and trim around any little pieces that have remained on here. And a paring knife is excellent for doing that. It's a small, compact little knife, and you can just use it for smaller jobs. Okay, so our mango is now sliced and skin-free, so we're going to slice these into slices about 1/8 of an inch thick. That's a very good size for dehydrating your fruit. Okay, so now our mango is all sliced. So I'm going to slice the kiwi while I'm in the slicing mode right now. And slicing a kiwi, depending on how firm or how soft it is what's going to determine how you slice it. Now there are methods where you can slice a kiwi with a spoon. I'm going to use my paring knife to slice my kiwi today. I'm going to peel it. You can use a peeler on your kiwi as well. This one is pretty firm, so I could use this peeler on it as well, but it's a little bit small, and by the time I'm done, it'll be a lot quicker just using the paring knife. So I'm just going to peel the skin off the kiwi, and basically you just peel this the same way you peel an apple. Just take it and just slice the skin off of it. Okay, so now our kiwi is nice and clear of that fuzzy skin that's on it. And when you're slicing the kiwi for the dehydrator, you have two choices on how you want the kiwi to look. You can slice it the long way, which is going to give you a beautiful oval kiwi, or you can slice it the shorter way, which is going to give you more of a circle. So I'm going to do these in the longer oval shape today. And so basically I'm just going to place it down on my cutting board. And once again, we're going to make these slices about 1/8 of an inch, because if you make them any smaller by the time they dehydrate, they are going to be very, very thin and they're going to break very easily. So we're just going to make the cuts in these. Okay, so both of our fruit has been sliced, and now we're going to put them on the racks. Now when you're putting the fruit on these drying racks, you want to make sure that you give them a little bit of space, because if they're too close together when they dehydrate, they're going to stick together. And if you're trying to do something like a garnish and you want the shapes perfect and you have them stuck together, they're going to break if you pull them apart. So what I'm going to do is just line our first one, and it's best to keep these separate. You're going to put the kiwi on one rack and you're going to put the mango on another rack, because they're going to dry differently. Okay, so that completes the tray that I have with the mango, and as you can see, they're evenly spaced, and we want the air to circulate when we put them in the oven. Now we're going to do the kiwi in the same way that we did the mango. We're going to place them on the rack with a little bit of space between each one so that they don't stick together as they dehydrate. Okay, so now our tray of kiwi is also ready to put in our dehydrator. And as you can see, these are all nicely spaced. It looks beautiful, very picturesque. Okay, so now our kiwi's ready to go. And we're going to stack these. And that's the beautiful thing about these type of drying racks. They take up less space in your oven. So you can get up to 5 of these in your oven at one time, because after a while they stack up a little bit high, and you want the air to continue to dehydrate the fruit, so you don't want to pack them in too tightly. This is a little top, and this actually helps the dehydration process, and we're just going to put that on top of here, and we're just going to set these in the oven on our dehydrating feature. And normally this takes about 12 hours, so we're going to set these in the oven right now. break and we'll be back and I'll show you what the finished ones look like because I did some earlier, so stay tuned.
Families come in all sizes and shapes. Sometimes your friends are your family by choice, or sometimes you're just stuck with Uncle Charles. But what we know is that you want to protect the people that are close to you, but the flu can unravel everything. Your flu vaccine protects you and your family. No matter what draws your family together, protect yourself, protect your family. Everyone needs a flu vaccine.
Okay, so welcome back to URBANesque Living, and we are dehydrating our fruit chips today because we're watching our weight, and so we don't want those fried chips. These are dehydrated chips. They have absolutely no fat in them. So I'm going to show you what the dehydrated mango and the dehydrated kiwi chips look like. Now these are our finished chips. Now I did not put these in any type of preservative. If you like, you can dip them in lemon or lime, which is a natural preservative, but these are fine. The sugar and the oxidation process turns them a little bit brown, but they're still good. This is the dehydrated mango, and this is the dehydrated kiwi. And as you can see, and here, they're very crisp. So these are your low-cal vegetable chips, and because you have to kind of munch on these, because the fruit fiber, it helps to curb your appetite a lot better, because you're getting a little bit of sugar and you're getting a little bit of fiber, which helps to fill you up as well as to satisfy that urge to eat. So this is Tish Tansil. Thank you for joining me on URBANesque Living. See you again.